Where is heaven? I want to see what you say about that. Put in the comments. From your various belief systems, religious point of views, where is heaven? Okay? Write in your comments. Do you know the answer? Do you know what it is? Have you thought about it? Have you reflected on this? Hi Brian, how are you? So, hi Clement. So, tell me what you think. Where is heaven? How do you see heaven? And is it something which you've always been puzzled about? Or is it something that you have such great clarity, you already know the answer? Tell me what it is, okay? I would love to hear. Hi Rahul, how are you? I would love to hear what you say. So those who have the answer, please say yes in the comments. I'm going to see who are the people who said yes. Those who have the answer, you think, I know it. I know where heaven is. Write down yes. I'm looking at your comments. Hi Bhaskar. Let's make this session interactive. Okay? I'm very, very curious. What are the various mindsets and perspectives out there? Before I share with you my experience. I had the experience of heaven. Okay, believe it or not. I did share in a previous video how I had this experience and why I had the experience and when I had that experience. It was so real, so clear, that it was an epiphany to me that heaven is not something or a place which you go to, where you go to when you die only. Heaven is at hand. Heaven is accessible even now. I had this real experience which I never felt possible. This was in 2014, March 2014. Wow. Less than 4 years ago. And this experience was at a time when my life felt like hell. This was a time, in fact the same month, when I had dark forces hit me and I went through, from my waist down, I went through this temporary paralysis. I felt nothing waist down. I was terrified and I just kept, pinching my waist and my thigh and I felt nothing. This was when I experienced the supernatural, the dark forces. Those who believe. And some of you may not believe it. Well, being a person of the science, my background is science. I've always been scientific. And I've always been a businesswoman. So, to say this is really showing to you that I'm able, even though as a scientist, even though as a very practical businesswoman, I can tell you it's real. Not a dream, not an imagination, not something made up. Being a person who is advising government, being a person who was so much in technology, okay? And suddenly I'm talking about esoteric things. I'm talking about heavenly things. I probably taint my credibility. But because heaven and God is so real, just because you can't see God doesn't mean that God is not real. Sometimes what we can't see is more real. than what we can see in this matrix, in this 3D reality. I did speak about how the earth has shifted into a 5D earth, and it's up to us to access it. And I'll tell you something, this 5D earth is an aspect of heaven, in one way of looking at it. So I saw on the comments, one person, was it one or more people who said, yes. I think I saw Rahul saying that, about yes. Okay, I would like to see what Rahul says, but I'm going to share a little bit. The time when I was paralyzed, waist down, and I felt nothing, and I screamed, and I said, oh my God, what happened to me? Am I going to walk again? Am I ever going to be normal again? And then God gave me the experience of experiencing heaven. It was as if my world had suddenly changed. Everything around me. It's like I had shifted to another realm. But I was still there. But that's just my world shifted. And everything around me was a different dimension, not really, in a world that was alive, a world where time felt different, an ageless kind of time. I spoke about the kairos time, a momentary time, not chrono time, as in this 3D earth is chrono time, where time is not something we can manipulate. But heaven was a kairos time, where, you know, it's momentary, where you can move forward and backward in time. So that time, that when I was in this heaven, was perhaps one aspect of heaven shown to me. And everything was gold for me to see. For different people, they see different things. Just as this world is so big, heaven is so big. And there's so much to see in this world. There's so much more to see. It's many, many multitudes of this world. It's much bigger spectrum of this world. What the color spectrum we see on this world, in heaven, the color spectrum is much, much more, much, much broader, much more magnified. If you add the dimensions, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, and beyond. So where is heaven? When I had that experience of heaven, when I was in a state of hell, I was allowed to see heaven, I realized that heaven is something we carry everywhere with us. Heaven is an atmosphere we carry with us, and the centrality is the heart. It's like heart is the engine, and the heart, that engine, contains a door. And that door, you're just outside that door, and you're just one step away from heaven, because you're carrying heaven with you everywhere you go. And the door is in the heart, and you just need to open the door. You need to take one step to open the door and enter into heaven. And what is that key to open that door? During that state, I remember very clearly when I was going through that state of hell, I had so much unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness for the persons who had put me through that hell. I did not think of revenge. I did not think of punishment. I remember that. And I wondered about myself. Why was I like that at that time? Then I realized that was the key that shifted my heart, that opened the door to enter into heaven. And that was the key, was unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness. We can start truly practicing that because we already carry heaven, the atmosphere of heaven, with us everywhere. Through our heart, the heart pumps the blood flows to our veins, to our hands. Heaven is at hand. Okay? Heaven is at hand. So we, as beings, as children, you could say, as beings of God, as children of God, we carry heaven everywhere with us. It is not some place which is outside that we need to go to at a certain time. No. This is what I experienced. And if anybody out there disagrees, please, feel free to comment, Not saying that you're wrong, but this is what I experienced. And I was so sure about that, so sure that it impacted me for life, changed me. And in fact, when you go into heaven, if you hear the stories of people who've gone into heaven, they are never the same people again. They come back changed forever. I came back changed forever. I came back with so much certainty from so much confusion, so much doubt, and lack of faith. I realized that I had come back with an understanding that all I needed to do was become in the image of God and also bring down the atmosphere of heaven, bring down the atmosphere of the kingdom of heaven onto earth. There are laws in heaven. There is a world there. They have a justice system there. They have a life there. And it's so much more, you could say, altruistic, and so much more loving, so much more fair, that it is the blueprint that we bring back with us. And we could be fluctuating back and forth into heaven because we carry heaven with us. And the more we carry and enter into heaven, that mindset of heaven, that heart, as heavenly beings, we become more one. That we start bringing down the blueprint of heaven onto this earth. And once you understand that, and once you experience it, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. Because, again, it sounds so conceptual. But I ask you to put that intention in your heart. When you go and pray, ask God, I want to experience heaven. I want to enter heaven now. I want to bring heaven onto my life, and I want to bring it onto earth. Okay? If any questions, write down the comments. And I am so happy to share this with you. It's very brief. And I look forward to hearing your comments. And visit my website, tahiraamirkhan.com, and my YouTube channel, Tahira Amir Khan. Good night, everyone. And, I'm just happy to share all this and, love to see all of you. Next time, it will be on Wednesday, and look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much.